fabric. This region is home to over 5 million people and is characterized by its incredible ethnic diversity and vibrant economic activity. The predominant Luhya community, along with the Tesos, Sabaots, Luos, Nandis, Kikuyus, Kisis, Somalis, Arabs, Nubians, and Indians, enriches the cultural landscape of this region. This year's Madaraka Day celebration shall be held tomorrow, Saturday, 1st of June, at Bungoma County. The economic activities in the Western region are diverse and robust. In Bungoma County, sugarcane farming drives the local economy, supported by the Nzoia Sugar Factory and numerous small-scale mills that are there for our people. Additionally, maize, millet, sorghum, and livestock farming sustain the community. Busia County thrives on fishing, rice farming, and sugarcane, despite challenges posed by the floods. Kakamega County balances subsistence and cash crop farming with a focus on sugarcane supported by the Mumias and Kabras sugar factories. Vihiga County starts out with small-scale tea farming, quarrying, and dairy farming. Though gold mining in Ikolomani poses challenges that we are addressing as a government. The government has implemented several strategic interventions to support these economic activities. Efforts to revive the sugar industry include leasing public sugar mills, providing subsidized fertilizers, and supporting legislative measures like the Sugar Bill number 34 of 2022. Agriculture projects agricultural projects such as the Lower Nzoia Irrigation Project, with additional funding of over 3.2 billion shillings, and the establishment of industrial parks across the country, the KIPES, aim to boost productivity and economic growth. Affordable housing projects in Kakamega and Vihiga counties are going to cost approximately 1.6 billion and are already providing employment and a conducive investment environment for our people. The government is also committed to enhancing infrastructure and social services in the region. The completion of phase 1 of the Masinde Muliro project in Kandui sub-county, costing Kenya shillings 807 million, and the rehabilitation of the Matu Law, 39 million, for commercial flights are significant milestones. Phase 2 of the Masinde Muliro project, covering terraces, perimeter fence, and access passes, is nearly complete at an additional cost of 790 million Kenya shillings. When it comes to education, the investments such as the construction of an engineering and TVET complex at Masinde Muliro University reflects the government's dedication to improving access to quality education. The national environmental conservation efforts are ongoing with initiatives like the presidential tree planting campaign aimed at achieving 15 billion trees, and this is also actively ongoing in the Western region. Kakamega Forest is being fenced to support our conservation, and this goal is paramount. And we are receiving substantial backing from local communities and conservationists, and this is something we really appreciate. It's also good to reiterate that during 10th May National Tree Growing Day, we were able to plant 14 million trees across the country, led by the Eastern Nairobi. They are the ones that were leading. The government is well ahead in putting resources to give a boost to the Western tourism circuit. Significant cultural heritages like the Kakapel National Monument and the Crying Stone, Ingongamurue, that's what it's called, of Ilesi, are being promoted to attract more tourists. The deliberate hosting of the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations in Bungoma will enhance the region's national profile and infrastructure, showcasing its rich culture and economic potential. We are fully prepared for the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations. Comprehensive strategies have been put in place to ensure the safety and security of all attendees, residents, and visitors. An emergency prevention and management plan, along with a detailed traffic management plan, have been developed to ensure minimum disruption in business. As we celebrate Madaraka Day, we honor our forefathers' dreams and commit to a future of continued prosperity. President William Ruto will be highlighting the key milestones with regards to agriculture and food security as a key pillar of the Better Plan agenda as enshrined in the Medium-Term Plan 4 of the Kenya Vision 2030. Recently, our economy has grown and the GDP growth is strongly attributed to a rebound in the agricultural sector, which was able to grow up to 6.9% in the last year. So you can hear this is a very important aspect of our country, and that is why we are here to brief you on what is it that we need to deal with. Let me now turn to some issue that has caused controversy. Once again, the issue of President visit to the US. I know some people are very interested in trying to poke holes into this whole visit. But I want to ask you, what is wrong with Kenyans having friends who can support such an endeavor? What is wrong with it? Yeah, I mean, that is why we need people who can support our development agenda. And so, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, the idea that, and the President spoke that very well yesterday, he was only able to spend 10 million from our taxes. The rest came from support from our friends. And I think that, for me, as the government spokesperson and for the whole of government, is a very good approach. Because the Englishmen say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So it's important and we need more of those. That is why the President is engaged in international economic diplomacy, including even going to another Asian country in the next 1 week to make sure that we cement our relationships going forward. But be that as it may, for the avoidance of doubt, it is good to report to Kenyans that we have very great gains, and we need to reiterate that. We need to repeat that so that we answer the questions. Several questions have been asked concerning the state visit of His Excellency President William Ruto to the United States, and I wish to reiterate that the jet the President used to the United States was by the government of the United Arab Emirates. The people of Kenya spent only about 10 majorly for fueling and other costs. The President's visit has led to several benefits and partnerships between the United States and Kenya, including the following. On the area of economic growth and trade, there is going to be increased trade between these two countries, and that will help our economy to grow. And if you want to doubt, look at the Japanese. After the Second World War, they were only able to rise again when they were able to have a Marshall Plan that they agreed with the United States of America. So this is very important. And this kind of growth also is for Mama Mbogas, the medium and small size enterprises, SMEs, so that we have more people being able to improve on their business processes and therefore also commercialize and marketize and have a forwardly integrated value chains that are going to help them to even get access to markets that they would not have been able to do so heretofore. And then also, the issue of AGOA is very important. And we only had one special economic zone. Now we have about 6. And there are more American companies who are willing to come on board. For those who don't know about AGOA, it's about manufacturing clothes here. That is why cotton is very for our a priority, the 9 priority value chains. So you can see there is already a ready market because AGOA has actually made many people get employed. And if you want to prove, just go to the other river and you'll see that. When you come to the issue of health, over 910 billion will be invested in health 910 billion, especially to combat HIV and AIDS, to reduce malaria about 50%, and this is going to help 1.3 million Kenyans to get ARVs and such other services, and also to reduce child mortality and enhance maternal health. So you can see again that is very serious. 910 billion is not small cash. When it comes to education, a total of 58.5 billion. Please take this number seriously. 58.5 billion to help our fellow Kenyans in training in terms of even digital literacy and to ensure that we improve outcomes in terms of even research. If you look at our budget, we are reducing on expenditure on research, but here we have $540 million on the same. So that is actually amazing. A total of 58.5 billion in that regard. Then when it comes to the security sector, a total of 130 billion, yeah, to increase our surveillance. This has even 16 helicopters, as you are aware. The Manda airstrip the runway is going to be built 3 kilometers, 10,000 feet if you like, just to ensure that we support and so that we also try to fight terrorism and transnational organized crimes, money laundering and illicit financial flows. So all of these are very good examples of what that visit has been able to achieve. When it comes to the issues of rule of law, democracy and governance, a total of 26 billion to strengthen governance, transparency and accountability, including ensuring that we have proper judicial systems, use of technology, like if you remember during COVID, and even now you can attend your court proceedings from your laptop. I have had that experience myself, and it reduces the shame of you being, taken to court and appearing before a magistrate and all of that shenanigans. Now you can do it from the comfort of your bedroom, if you like. But also to fast-track a backlog of cases, and also ensuring that we have proper legal structures and all of that. And fighting, again, corruption, which is a great vice and menace in our country. When it comes to agriculture, a total of 39 billion, so that we increase agricultural productivity, which is really a main pillar of the better plan under MTP4 of the Kenya Vision 2030. When it comes to infrastructural development, we have a lot of 195 billion on various infrastructural programs, but especially the Nairobi-Mombasa motorway, the expressway, 4 to 6 lane at 471 billion. That will be a game changer, so that you don't have to travel to Mombasa by 9-10 hours, only 4.5. So you can either take the train or drive, and Kenyans love to drive, and it's an expressway. So I think that is very important, also including urban development, because most of the Kenyans are coming to this country, this side of, they are coming to Nairobi and other cities. Last week, my office had an official tour of Nakuru, and you can see how it's really growing, and it's projected to have about more than 3-5 million 2027 and going forward. So for anyone who is asking a question as to whether there were benefits for the trip, I want to tell you it's minimal. The cost of travel was subsidized by our friends, but the benefits are much more than you could ever imagine. More than 1 trillion shillings. So I think that is very, very important to respond to. But of course, let's not join our detractors, some of them from the international arena, who are trying to downplay the role. Remember, His Excellency President William Ruto is the first of the African countries in 16 years to ever, have a state visit. And so that is very important that is happening in our country. Just today, I think we are concluding the Africa Development Bank official 60th anniversary annual meeting, and we've had presidents like President Mnangagwa Emerson of Zimbabwe. We've also had President Kagame, the President of Somalia, the President of Tunisia, Presidential Council, the President of Congo Brazzaville. All of them have been here, the Prime Minister of Namibia, trying to showcase what is there that we can do as an African continent, including the President of the African Development Bank, Adesina, and also the Musa Faki, the AU Commission Chair, who is retiring, and we hope that our own Right Honorable Raila Odinga will replace him as the 5th chairman of the AU. The word 5th is very political, because, we have the 5th president, and that was the contest. Of course, I am the 5th government spokesman. Let's come to the flooding emergency situation. The March, April, May long rains led to a flooding emergency that has left us in huge losses, including damages to infrastructure, displacement of people, and even death and injuries. The floods have subsided, I beg your pardon. The floods have subsided, and the damages are now dawning on us. And you have my team here. You have retired Colonel Samoei, who is the head of the National Disaster Operations Center, and very senior officers. We have Major Simbili, Major General Simbili, who is here representing the head of the command center, Major Mason, and we have, other members of the Kenya Army. I can see my friend Susan Takai here of the Kenya Coast Guard. I can see NYS is represented, and many of the other, institutions that I may not be able to mention. All of them, the multi-agency NDOC continues to operate. So far, approximately 306,552 Kenyans, drawn from 61,304 households, are still affected by the floods, with 58,064 households comprising of about 293,000 people displaced, 293,205. 38 persons are still reported as missing, but we are happy because that number was at some point as high as 75, while 188 people are injured and receiving treatment in various health facilities. We are sad to report as of today that Kenya, the people who have lost their lives since March, the number stands at 315. That is 242 adults and 73 children. We wish the injured a quick recovery and send our most sincere condolences to the families and friends of those who have lost their lives as government. Most parts of the country are expected to be generally dry. However, rainfall is expected to continue over a few areas in the highlands, east and west of the Rift Valley, the Lake Victoria Basin, and the Rift Valley. Additionally, strong southerly and southerly winds with speeds exceeding 25 knots are expected of the coast and northeastern. We urge fellow Kenyans, wananchi, to take caution and adhere to weather and flood alerts. A total of 183,521 acres of farmlands have been affected by the floods across 26 counties. This has resulted to losses approximately to about 3.7 billion, with Garissa and Kisumu counties bearing the highest losses. The government will support post-floods recovery through distribution of seeds, fertilizers, agrochemicals, and rehabilitation of farm infrastructure. The government is monitoring the situation in Chala Ward, in Taita Taveta County, very important, those areas of Bosnia, near the Tanzanian border, where there is a suspected outbreak of an unknown animal disease from Tanzania, referred as Kichwa cha Ng'ombe by the locals. The disease is said to have fatal consequences to animals and humans. Chunga sana. The national government is working closely with the county government of Taita Taveta, led by Governor Mwadime, in investigating in order to ascertain the situation and possibly effect animal disease prevention and protection protocols to prevent any further loss of human and animal lives. Despite these challenges forced by recent floods, the government has actually taken prompt responses, and recovery efforts demonstrate our resilience as a country and dedication to safeguarding the welfare of all Kenyans. The government of Kenya has not failed its citizens. Here in Nairobi, over 26,000 families have already been given the 10,000 stipend as promised by His Excellency the President, and the remaining 13,000 and some few hundreds are still being verified by, the government led by County Commissioner Mr. Wanyonyi, so that we make sure that we get the right people. Please verify your numbers. Some of the monies are bouncing back. Give the right kind of information so that you don't get to miss that which we've already, agreed. In conclusion, the government continues to support all of the senior citizens of our country and all of the Inua Jamii programs as a key example of showcasing why we need our government to say that really we are independent. The Madaraka celebrations cannot therefore be there if people are still suffering. So the Inua Jamii program, you will see in the new financial year, will be robustly boosted to ensure we cover many more households, so that then they are cushioned from the fragile situations that are emanating from climate change adaptation, knowing only too well that for the next 7 years, we are going to receive above normal rainfall. As we prepare to celebrate the 61st Madaraka Day, we are reminded of significant strides Kenya has made since gaining self-independence. This year's celebration in Bungoma County underscores our commitment to regional inclusivity and national unity. Let me take this opportunity to wish all Kenyans a happy and independent Madaraka Day in advance. Happy Madaraka Day. Kenya itasimama, Kenya itainuka, Kenya itanawiri kwa umoja na uzalendo. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Jay, wewe? Thank you. We can have some few questions. Any question? Yes?
Niangalie kabla nikose. Ni mchana. Habari za mchana sote. Daktari, jina langu ni Ronnie Regan kutoka idhaa ya Mo Radio. Nimependa mazungumzo yako. Kuna kitu ambacho umekitaja ukasema kwamba serikali inajitahidi, inajisatiti kuhakikisha kwamba kila mmoja wa Mkenya, mpiga kura, mlipa ushuru anapata haki yake. Tunapozungumzia haki, tunafahamu fika kwamba aliyekuwa rais mstaafu, na mzungumzia Uhuru Kenyatta, alitumikia taifa kwa takriban miaka 10 kama rais. Alipoondoka tunaelewa kwamba kuna bajeti ya marais ambao wastaafu pamoja na wafanyikazi wao, magari yao kuwekwa mafuta, jinsi watakavyokula, jinsi watakavyosafiri na watakavyolala vile vile. Tumekuwa tukiona kwenye magazeti na vile vile vyombo vya habari taarifa kila uchao kwamba bajeti ya rais sasa hivi ni kama imetiwa makasi, nikimaanisha kwamba imekatwa na kwa